Yay! Whoop, whoop.
Maybe we got it fixed finally.
All right, welcome to this week's episode
of Watch Drusilla Eat.
Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony's TV Tuesdays. Thank you so much for watching us here on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com.
And just for the sake of argument and the magic of cinema,
yes,
you can't see it, but look, she has an entire plate of food right here.
I'm eating lunch.
She's having enchiladas, rice, and beans, and everything right now.
It's
Don't
yummy.
put that. That's gross.
It's yummy.
So she's gonna be munching away because she couldn't wait for 5 seconds.
I have been waiting all day.
You've not been waiting all day.
I have. Okay.
All right. So would you like to go first? This show we just talk about all things television.
Yeah.
That's Spanish. Television.
Yes. So
whether it's new, old, specials, whatever we feel like talking about, not necessarily just what's coming up. So
we'll talk about one, and then you can talk about some stuff.
You tell me what you got going.
I finally finished The Killing, you guys. It was 4 seasons.
I feel like we've been talking about the show for every episode.
But I finally finished, and I loved the ending. It was a little cliche, and it was sad because season 4 was only like 6 episodes, I guess, because they knew they were getting canceled.
Well, no, because they got picked up on what is it, Netflix?
Yeah, so they wrapped it up. It was a short season, but it was good, and everything kind of resolved itself, so I'm happy. The end. Next. Go watch The Killing. It's available on Netflix now. It's only 4 seasons. You can watch it really quick.
That's it?
If you like any kind of crime drama, crime investigation drama things, this is the show for you.
Okay, that was a fast one.
Well, I'm done with that because you were tired of talking about it.
I didn't say anything about that. I just said it seems like we've talked about it every episode. You keep bringing it up. We're 5 episodes in, and it took you 5 episodes, what, 6 episodes?
Yeah, no, to watch 2 seasons.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. Well, I am going to talk about the show I didn't actually fully watch. I kind of tried it out, and I decided not to finish it. The CW has a new show called Bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, like I saw a trailer for it. It's like a cop show, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. It's actually a British series.
Oh, I love those.
That got brought to, and it's still a cop series, but it's on the CW, which was like, what? I started watching it, and you could tell when you see it, it wasn't like an American production, because of just the different way it's shot.
Yeah.
And then I realized everybody in this show has got British accents. I'm like,
were you able to understand them?
Yeah, it's fine. It wasn't like a Cockney accent or anything. But I just decided, I'm like, what is this? So I went and researched it. I thought, oh, it's a British series that they picked up. It was okay. I would just watch the first episode. It was okay. I don't know if I'll jump back into it or not. I don't know. I didn't get fully engaged. Exactly, but. There's something new that's on the CW. If you like British shows and want a cop show, it's one of those.
Well, there you go.
All right, moving on to that. These are some quick ones.
All right.
Before we get into the stuff that's really going to suck up our time.
Well,
I've got a lot of news today, too, to talk about.
I'm excited about this personally.
The news that I have?
No.
Oh.
Beverly Hills 90210, the reunion show has started.
Hold on. Before you get into this, and I apologize, why does it look like there's like a mass suicide behind us?
Everybody's fallen.
Everybody has fallen and they can't get up. It's okay. Just leave them. It's oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Just leave them. They're fine. Whatever. These guys' heads don't stand up.
They have big heads.
Anyway, go ahead.
Beverly Hills 90210 is back with the original cast, minus poor Luke Perry, who's in heaven. It's on Fox now, or if you don't have a cable, you can watch it.
I'm really getting tired of the recurring old TV shows.
Well, I'm digging this one. This one's an interesting take. They're not just going back and being Brenda and Kelly again. It's the actual actors pretending to be themselves, pretending to go do a reunion show.
That sounds stupid.
So, Tori Spelling is Tori Spelling.
This isn't 90210 then.
Well, it is. They went and they go to a 90210 convention. And then the idea of doing a reunion show has come up.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And so, like, all the actors are playing themselves, but not their real selves. Like, it wasn't her real husband, and it wasn't what's his name's real wife.
Wow.
You know, Brian Austin Green's woman wasn't there. I mean, so it's not their real life husband.
Brian Austin Green's what?
His woman.
Oh, I thought you his husband. I was like,
his woman. What's her name still, right?
I think they're making a
yeah.
That's why
like, they're not in the show. It's pretend husbands and wives, but they are themselves pretending to be their actor selves, pretending to now go do a show. It's a confusing thing. You just need to go watch it.
Sounds awful.
I think if you like the show, you're going to like it. It's making already, in the first episode, you get a lot of references to the original show. We do get a shout out to Luke Perry. The idea that people
Is he
don't
dead in
like
the show?
Shannon Doherty isn't. Yeah, he's dead in real life.
So they talk about that he passed away.
The idea that nobody likes Shannon Doherty is brought up. I mean,
that's factual though.
Well, I don't know how they got along with her or not. So
well, she left the show, I believe, didn't she, back then too? So she leaves I don't know why people cast her on
she
any
also
show.
had to leave
She always leaves every show she's on.
The Witches show, yeah. So
every show she goes on, she leaves.
But she's friends with Sarah Michelle Gellar, like they're besties.
That doesn't say
anything. And Selma Blair and all that, and like they all hang out.
They're all crazy people.
Maybe. Anyways, if you liked 90210 back in the day,
then you won't like this one because
if you're a younger person and you watched the new 90210, which was on a couple of years ago, there was a new show.
I'm aware of that.
Now, maybe you'll want to transition to this to see the original cast. Who knows?
Or avoid it altogether.
Whatever you want to do.
Ridiculous.
It's available. I mean, it's on weekly on Fox. Check it out. Or Hulu.
Wow. All right. Well, there's a show. The one I'm going to talk about is not stupid.
That wasn't stupid either. It was vital to a generation of us.
I'm not talking about the original. I'm talking about the new one. I've actually been following the creation of this show for quite a while. I've been super stoked for it. It finally debuted last Thursday, I believe, on Netflix. It's called Woo Assassins.
Oh, you've been so excited about this.
It stars Iko Uwais from The Raid. Mm-hmm. It's got Louis Tan, who played. He was in Into the Badlands, but he also played Shatterstar in Deadpool 2. He's also commented on things I've posted before, so that means we're best friends. Mark Dacascos is in it, who was in, more recently, John Wick 3. He played Zero. Who else shows up in the... Summer Glau shows up.
Oh, I haven't seen her in a while.
I don't know. She shows up at one point. I don't remember the guy's name. He was just in Swamp Thing, and I think he used to be on... hold on, Vampire Show. Crap, the one that the Strain.
Oh,
he was on that show.
That was a good show. I never finished.
Anyway, it's got a lot of great things.
Add it to the list.
It's a great show. It is a little silly at times, because it's got a supernatural element to it. So essentially, it's this guy who is a chef. Iko Uwais is the lead. He's a chef, and he basically gets endowed with the Wu Assassin, which is some ancient thing. And there's elemental warriors, and they can shoot things, and they do stuff. So it's like very like one of the like epic martial arts flicks. But what's cool is like Mark Dacascos plays a monk, but he's within this like mystical monkdom protection. So there's some fights where like Iko Uwais say he'll jump up and spinning hook kick some guy and land, but it looks up it's Mark Dacascos because he's inside him.
No, that's what I was trying to figure out in the trailer. Like it was like two different people. And I guess
sadly, Mark Dacascos isn't in it as much. But yeah, he's within him, and so like he periodically.
I get it now.
Excuse me. He periodically goes into what I started calling Wu Land, where like he'll be like in the middle of something happening, and all of a sudden he'll be kind of go in this transit state and wake up, and there's like this spirit guy, and he's like in this city with fog, and he deals with stuff there. So there's fighting on the astral type plane, and there's fighting here, and then there's ancient beings that are trying to get the Wu Assassin and this and that. So it's one of those like where there's all the different, there's the crime, there's the Yakuza type triads, and
they're everywhere.
Yeah, so tons of martial arts fights, tons of special effects.
How's the action in it?
The fights are really good. I mean, it's hard to compare it to something like The Raid because that is so intense.
Yeah,
but the fights are like that.
Too, so.
Well, the fights are like that. The fights are fast paced. They're not as aggressively graphic as The Raid because it's a TV show. Even though it is a Netflix show, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it is. There's a ton of them. The show opens right away with like a hallway type fight, and then it flashes back and gets you set up to where we're at, and then. But you get a little bit of everybody fighting. I was bummed at first because I didn't know if Louis Tan was going to get much fighting, and I was really excited for him. And then he didn't seem to be doing much, and then finally he got to start unleashing and kicking some ass. And I didn't, like I said, we didn't get enough Mark Dacascos for my liking, but that's because I'm a fan. But I love Iko Uwais and Louis Tan getting a full series. So, and it kind of ends. I think it's 10 episodes. but it kind of ends where it wraps the story, but the story continues. So hopefully it'll get picked up for a second season.
That sounds good.
But it's very much like watching the old.
I feel like you watched that whole season really fast.
I did. I finished it last night, so between Thursday and the only reason I slowed down in between is because I had to watch the Firefly trilogy of Rob Zombies, not Firefly Serenity, but
Thousand Corpses,
House of Thousand Corpses, Devil Rejects, and 3 from Hell. I had to watch those. I had a couple of. We ended up stopping to watch the Avengers Infinity War Endgame again.
Yeah.
You know, so like,
yes, just so I could cry again.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I got stuck in the middle and it took me longer to watch it than I planned. And the next thing I'm going to talk about, I had to watch it too, so it kind of interfered.
Yes.
So anyway, Wu Assassins is on Netflix right now. If you like supernatural stuff, if you like martial arts action, if you just like fun series, then it's a great show.
There you go. All right.
What do you got next? Why are you on your phone?
That's how I'm tracking all my stuff. Next, what you guys need to know, iZombie Season 5 is now on Netflix. It was the last season. I already watched it. I don't think you did, so you're going to get caught up.
Behind. I got to get caught up on that.
But it's actually really interesting. This was another one where they got canceled, and then it got picked up, right?
No, I think the whole thing was on the CW, and then they just ended the show.
I thought they.
I mean, it might have got canceled, but I think the show ended on the CW of the final season. I think they announced it.
But I think we knew at season 4 that they were going to be going away, and I was like, I hope they do the last season to wrap it up, and they did. So you need to watch season 5. You got to stick with it to the very end, man, because at the very end,
every show you stick to the very end.
No, but some things wrap up here and there, but the very end, OMG, it is a major twist.
You're a grown woman. Why are you saying OMG?
I'm getting people hyped up.
Oh, okay.
It is a major twist ending that you don't really see coming, and you're like, what? And so it's really good. And there's so many things that it gets really emotional. Throughout the whole series, Liv is wanting to be human, and Robin's been trying to help her, and things happen, and man, it's a little bit emotional. I cried towards the end, towards the last 2 or 3 episodes. It really got me. Got really emotional for Liv for a while. So, anyways, you need to watch it. iZombie Season 5 on Netflix. Yeah.
So, did you watch any other shows, or is everything else just like stuff like that? Just out of curiosity,
stuff I'm watching, I started watching Celebrity Family Feud.
Okay, so moving on.
And then I'm still watching my normal shows. Now that I'm done with The Killing, I'm going to go pick up another show that I have not watched yet, which I think I need to watch the superheroes.
Yeah, you got to get caught up on that because the new seasons are about to start.
I'm ready for this Infinite whatever
Crisis on Infinite Earth. But you got to see the other crossover.
I know, so I'm so behind. I think I finished.
Did you finish Flash?
Flash. That's the only one.
You couldn't have finished all the way through because you couldn't have watched the crossover part.
Well, then I must have gotten to there, and I don't know what I did, y'all. I haven't had to go back and like 2 seasons ago.
Well, the other thing that I was like super psyched about it was another one of the things that got announced. I want to say probably last year at Comic-Con or something, or just a trailer came up. Dog, I'm petting your tail. He took his tail away from me when I was touching it.
He didn't let me touch him.
Anyway, it was yet another Netflix. This was I thought it was going to be a movie. It ended up being like a 45-minute special. It's Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling.
Oh, cool.
So Rocko's Modern Life, the animated series. It's a Nickelodeon show. They picked up the special for Netflix. And I think it's been 20-something years since that show went off the air.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's a long time already.
So maybe not that long, but something like that. But in the show, maybe I don't think it's that long actually. But it's been well over 10 years. So it's at least in the teens. But what's funny is in the show, the little special, and I don't think it's been so long. I'm on the box set. I have it up there, but I'll need to go back and watch the final episode, as I don't think it left on that cliffhanger. Because the show wasn't really a ongoing story thing. Each episode was whatever. So, but they the show kicks off with almost like a Star Wars crawl, telling them where they've been. And apparently a rocket had gone through Rocko's house and launched him into space. So for 20 years, Rocko, Heifer, and the turtle, I forgot his name. Anyway, they've been in space. And so now this was basically a silly catalyst to bring them back to Earth. And now everything's changed with social media.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
So they're basically having to deal with people's obsession of social media, People have been turned into zombies because of like an energy drink. It's all that kind of stuff. It's Conglommo, I think, is the name of the thing. And what's funny is there's a Rocko's Modern Life comic series as well that I love, that I read, and they did a storyline which was everybody being gone crazy because of post stuff, and the way they save them is they basically, somebody posts like a silly cat picture and it makes people happy again. And so anyway, but the special is funny. They brought back all the original cast, voice work, and what a lot of people may not know, I don't know if you even know this.
I don't know anything about the show.
Rocko's Modern Life, essentially, when it went off the air, the majority of the group that worked on that show became the group that worked on SpongeBob.
Oh, cool.
Even the creator of SpongeBob was one of the people that worked on Rocko. Mm-hmm. Tom Kenny, who is SpongeBob, is the voice of Heifer. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that same team. So I always have basically taken Rocko as being the precursor universe to SpongeBob. Because they all went to that when that show was over for the most part.
That's cool.
And the late Steven Hillenberger, I never say his name, he passed away I think last year, the creator of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He was like, I think a producer or writer or something on Rocko.
That's kind of cool.
So anyway, so Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling is available now on Netflix. Whether you've seen Rocko or not, go watch it. It's funny. He's a wallaby and his best friend Heifer, that's a cow, and Mr. and Mrs. Big Head. They live next door. They're toads. It's a funny show. I love that show.
All right then.
Anyway. So moving on. So you want to hear about some TV news in the world, or do you have something else?
Let me see if I have anything else I've been watching. I watch a bunch of nonsense.
Did you see that Tobro liked our
tweet again? Okay, so
this time Tobro liked your tweet.
Tobro liked our show. Like he tweeted a like on our show because we talked about Tobro, and then I'm like, "Thank you, Tobro, love you," and he liked my tweet.
So dumb. He's not even verified. I think he's just trying to find people to listen to him.
You know what? I don't even care.
Your food is making me sick.
That's all the show. Okay, I'm done.
I think it's your burnt rice.
It wasn't burnt.
Anyway, all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to zoom through some different TV news.
How dare you say Mexican ladies' rice is burnt?
So real fast, I'm not going to stick too long on anything, but in case you haven't already heard, there's a second season of The Boys coming. The Boys.
Is that the one where they're bad?
The superhero that are all jerks, basically.
After that first episode, I'm just like...
I haven't had a chance to sit down because I've been trying to get through. I got sucked into Wu Assassin and watching the other stuff, so I got to get back to finish The Boys. We'll talk about that. Something you may not know about, they released the trailer for the new USA series, Treadstone. You know what Treadstone is? Does it even sound familiar to you?
Maybe.
Treadstone is a spin-off TV series based on the world of the Bourne Identity. Treadstone is
the people in the office.
Yeah, so they have
Styles.
So the USA Network is doing a new TV series on Treadstone to spin off of that series.
Will Julia Stiles be in the office?
I hope not. Also, one movie I'm super stoked about, and the reason it's on our TV show because it's on Netflix, and I figured if it's on Netflix, it's classified as television. But we may still talk about it on our movie show too. They finally released a trailer for Dolomite Is My Name, which, if you don't know who Dolomite is a character created by comedian Rudy Ray Moore in like the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
And he was, I believe, a struggling comic. I'll show you the trailer after this. He was a struggling comic. He was trying to stand out, so he created this character, Dolomite, who was like a pimp kind of thing, and they ended up making movies about the character Dolomite.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they were like, he was like almost like a comical version of Shaft, right? But what's great about this movie is not only the story and everything, but the cast is awesome. Eddie Murphy is playing Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite himself. It's got Wesley Snipes in it.
Your mom will be happy.
Got Craig Robinson in it.
Bobby's mom loves Wesley.
You like Craig Robinson?
I like Craig Robinson. He can have his keyboard.
I think he does. Keegan Michael Key is in it. Mike Epps is in it. Snoop Dogg is in it.
What?
T.I. is in it. Chris Rock is in it. The trailer looks awesome.
You're gonna give me whatever I like.
But it's not about like playing Dolomite. It's the story of Rudy Ray Moore creating Dolomite and then shooting the movie Dolomite. So it looks really funny. It looks really great. I've heard about it a long time ago. Do you remember the story of the guy, the true story here in Dallas, Dr. Death?
Yes.
There was a surgeon or whatever that was killing people.
Yeah. Oh, was it the assisted suicide guy, or is this the guy that was
killing
people? Okay.
Dr. Death is just a surgeon that was like killing people, but I don't know if he was murdering them, or if you don't look it up, don't stop with your phone.
But I want to know.
Well,
I guess I better watch the show.
Well, there's going to be a mini series. I don't think it's been picked up on a network specific yet, but it does star Jamie Dornan from the most unsexual movie ever. What is it? 50 Shades of Grey. I believe he's playing Dr. Death. It's also got Alec Baldwin.
He's good in things that are not 50 Shades.
It's also got Christian Slater and Alec Baldwin.
Love Christian Slater. Is it a miniseries?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a miniseries.
Okay, that way it can't get canceled, because anything with Christian Slater's been getting canceled.
No, because he was in Mr. Robot and he made like 4 or 5 seasons.
We were surprised. That was the one that broke the curse.
Anyway, also, and I don't remember if I talked about it. I don't think I talked about it, but I may have talked about it on the weekly update. Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone are working on a new TV series put together that's going to be like a cop show. I know Lundgren is starring in it. I believe Stallone is starring in it as well, but I don't know. I know he's part of the development process. So we'll be interested. One funny thing that happened this week was TV related is Will Ferrell returned to the role of Ron Burgundy, and he basically hit every late night show. There was, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Conan, Stephen Colbert, James Corden. He showed up doing stand-up comedy on everybody's show and interviews, promoting the 2nd season of the Ron Burgundy podcast. You can find most of them on YouTube, so go check it out. It was just a funny night. The show American Crime has announced its topic for its next season.
Ooh, what?
It's going to be the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So it'll be the Clintons and the Monica Lewinskys and cigars.
Ooh, I wonder what that's going to do with Monica Lewinsky, because I mean she's still actively speaking.
I don't know, but the other thing I finished last night. Well, 2 things actually today. Season finales, I believe. Yeah, season finales of both of them. One was I literally before the show I just finished the season finale of the season of Claws, which was awesome as always. And I finished the Loudest Voice miniseries, which was this one about Roger Ailes, the guy that basically created Fox News, that Russell Crowe's playing him.
Yes.
And the whole thing is tied into a sex scandal, but his connection with getting Donald Trump in office, trying to discredit Obama and spreading most of the stuff that people say about good about Trump or bad about Obama. Came from Roger Ailes and Fox News. It was very specifically designed. And it's interesting, they show it in there, there's a moment where during the scandal, and some stuff with TV is always embellished for these things, so who knows what was real and what wasn't. I believe, in this case, most of it probably happened exactly when they saw it, because it was shady people. But there's a moment where Roger Ailes is being accused of all this sexual harassment, all the stuff that he did, and so calls Donald Trump, who's already been, I believe it. I don't remember if he had already been elected or just fixing to be elected, but tells him, "Hey, you say something." He goes, Then it shows the actual footage of him talking about Ailes. He's a great guy. These women are all just losers, and they're all just liars, and showing that, look, I did you a favor.
Yeah.
Now speak behalf, and now everybody will believe you. But one of the people played by Naomi Watts, who was essentially the whistleblower of the whole thing, because this went on for years.
Yeah.
She was a reporter, and she started recording him for years of stuff he said and did. And then they let her go because he didn't like that she was kind of getting uppity and promoting her own book on the show and the stuff. They let her go. So then it became, she basically cut loose. And there's a great sequence in there when all the ladies, they're interviewing all the ladies but they're doing it at the Fox News offices, right? And every one of them are saying, "No, he was a great guy. He was on the Sanders here." It's like, no, he was a great guy. He never did anything wrong. He was very professional. All he did was try to help me with my career and mentor me and this and that. And then one of the ladies comes forward and says, "I'd like to talk to you outside." She goes, "But there's cameras in every room." And it's showing Roger Ailes watch the interviews and jotting down what people are saying. So then they went to another location and they re-interviewed all of them, and every one of them spilled. And so then it got brought down. So anyway, Roger Ailes is dead now, but and it did do the thing like you like it then, where it's told where each person is.
Yeah, I love
it didn't show the real person; it showed the actor, but it showed where they're at now, what happened, what they're doing. And it's funny, is so many people. One guy, Seth MacFarlane, played this one guy who was Roger's right-hand man before they finally cut him loose because he thought he was betraying him. And he got paid some boogoo millions of dollars and had to sign an NDA, and it talked about that he's does such and he still can't talk about it. anything related to Fox News. So anyway, it's a Loudest Voice. I believe it was HBO. No, it was Showtime. So you can check it out on Showtime or Showtime app. The other big thing, real fast, would be the end of it. They're doing new Marvel shows on Hulu. So the Netflix and stuff with Marvel has ended essentially, and they had announced a Ghost Rider series on Hulu, which was Gabriel Luna, who played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's fixing to be playing a new Terminator in Terminator Dark Fate. So he's getting his own series now. He's playing Robbie Reyes, which is the car one, not to be confused with Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze, who were the ones who were the motorcycle ones.
Yeah.
And then ended up being brothers. He's playing Robbie Reyes. But they also I just read an article that they are also doing a Hellstrom series. Hellstrom was a brother and sister who were like the children of this serial killer who was some kind of mysterious, powerful, whatever. And they run around fighting demons and whatnot.
David.
So in the comics, they had the Spirits of Vengeance team up at times. And so that would be like Blade and Ghost Rider and all these versions of characters. Cool. So they said they're creating, and I now forget the name of it, but they're creating some kind of something of terror or something block, kind of like they did for Netflix, where they all brought them together and then made the Defenders. They're doing a cartoon version too, cool. Which is like MODOK and some of the other characters. And they said they're going to team up for the Offenders.
That'd be cool.
It's kind of a funny thing.
That'd be cool.
So they're doing a similar thing with Hulu. They said there's a couple other characters they've announced. I'm crossing my fingers that it's Moon Knight because he's in that dark world. And Kevin Feige did mention not long ago that Moon Knight has been discussed numerous times. And he's the Batman of the Marvel world and the greatest of all time.
All right, then. Well, there you go.
Anyway, so that's the big news.
That's a lot of news. There's a lot of news.
A lot happening. It was only on Tuesday. I'm knocking everything over. And sadly, we didn't get a chance to talk about Jim Cotta today.
No, we'll talk about it next time.
We'll talk about it next time.
What else?
Get off your phone.
I'm looking this up.
What are you looking up?
I'm looking up your news.
Well, don't look at my news while we're doing news.
I had nothing else to discuss today.
You're supposed to be doing the plugs.
Are we ready?
I said that was it.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Okay, so there should be
I need a new co-host. This is why I do 2 shows a week by myself.
And then after for subscribe.
What? We're not to that point yet.
That was plugs, right?
We do 4 to 5 shows a week, and you still are just lost because you're over there on your phone.
Check out our website.
Technology. This is what happens in the Rocko's Modern Life movie. This happens.
All right. Check out our website. Look, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Thank you for following us on Lay Facebook and Lay Twitter and Instagram and right here on YouTube. Woo!
Good Lord, that was sad.
Okay, now can you do the pointing?
I'll do it because you mess everything up. Anyway, make sure you subscribe here. Don't forget, we have multiple shows throughout the week. What day is this? Tuesday. So join me here on Thursday for the weekly update, which probably repeat a little bit of this news, but also what's going on in trailers and movie news throughout the week, as well as Sunday when you come back here for Hollywood Matrimony Live that we simulcast right here on this YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page.
Yep.
And then right back here Monday for Martial Arts Movie Monday, where I take a deep dive into a martial arts movie out of my clip. And who knows, it could be Jim Cotta one day.
Jim Cotta.
And then also be right back here on Tuesday for TV Tuesdays with me and this one, and maybe next week we won't be having a Mexican buffet. And Bob will have a phone in Mexican. They would fire you if you were ever on a TV show.
This is my show, and I could do it.
This is her show, and she doesn't even. Oh, what are we doing? Are we doing? Anyway, but make sure hit that subscribe button below. If you show up later on, hit the subscribe button that's over here. And look over here for fun new trailers or news or other shows. Leave comments. Tell us what you think. And we thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.